Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I'm Stylosa, and what you're looking at on the screen right now is my eye tracker, and you can see that it is quite, well, it's pretty good. It's quite accurate. Now, I got this idea off a guy called Sandusky Hoho, who put a little clip up on Reddit, and he was like, look at this, I've got an eye tracker, and I thought, what actually happens if I play the game with an eye tracker? Where am I looking? And what happens on different characters? Well, we're going to find out in this video, guys, because I think this is going to be super interesting. Now, I've not actually watched any of this back. I've cut these clips up because I've got a good idea what happened in these games, but I obviously don't see the eye tracker overlay on the screen at the time while I'm playing the game. The game obviously looks normal to me, because if I did, that would be very, well, off-putting. Also, as well, I had my microphone muted in this game, which is pretty funny, because I kept screaming for nano boost and all kinds of stuff, and I wasn't getting it, because, well, yeah, Eagle knows, and if he's watching this video, you're a great Anna. So, yeah, what we're going to be looking at is where I'm looking on the screen. Now, you can see, on Soldier, I tend to look most of the time straight through the center of the crosshair, and I think this is kind of the way it's done with more hit scanny characters, because you're using a lot of your peripheral vision, right? You'll notice that I do tend to look at my next target before I engage the next target. So if we just watch this, as I'm going around and I'm sort of looking like I'm checking my health, I'm checking how much damage I've done, what my accuracy is, because I'm obsessed with my accuracy. Also, there's no place to hide as well, because you can see where I'm looking. I'm sort of looking around like, oh yeah, Anna's above there. Again, I'm checking my damage, my limbs. I'm thinking, okay, I'm kind of doing okay. Looking at who's talking. We're going to use Nano Visor, and I'm like, yeah, thank you. And that's like a sarcastic thank you, because I've been shouting for it during the game. And like, yeah, whatever. So, alright, they've popped their ult. I've looked at my Anna. We're going to go in. I'm looking at targets, but to be honest, I've got Tac Visor active, so it kind of doesn't really matter as such. I've been jumped by the Winston. This is so interesting to me. You'll notice I keep checking the kill feed as well. I think that's a crucial thing. Like, you guys watching this, if all you're doing is staring in the middle of the screen and not looking around at the other bits of information that you've got access to, then it makes you a much worse player. Like, obviously we know that we've won this. We've used a lot of ultimates, we've got a load of kills. I know that because I'm looking at the kill feed. I'm like, okay, we've got a kill, we've got a kill. Alright, so now I'm looking around again, and it's like, this is sort of the phase where we're waiting for the next attack to begin. There's a tracer, so I'm going to look for the tracer. So you notice, like, I look at the tracer before I aim at the tracer, which I think is obviously a natural thing to do, right? You're going to look and then move the mouse to aim at where you're looking. So I think that's kind of okay. Also, we will look at different types of heroes in this video as well. We won't just look at DPS, we'll look at tanks as well. And there will be, in the future, there'll be more videos, and we'll look at different types. Like, possibly we could do quite a lot of the heroes and see if there's any kind of major differences. Because I think this will help a lot of people. Because my level of play, even though on Spitfire this is like a high Masters account, my DPS on my Soldier, I have managed to get to 4.2k on my very private account. So I guess you could say that I'm pretty much a GM Soldier at this point. So this is kind of where GM Soldiers would be looking, I think. I'm not saying I'm the best by any means. Like, I'm probably average at that level. I don't think I could get any higher. But yeah, this is definitely quite interesting for me, just to look where I'm watching. So yeah, look again. Like, you'll notice I check the stats quite a lot. And I also seem to look at who's talking as well quite a lot, which is kind of pointless. Like, so what I'm going to use this video for myself is, what am I doing here that I could actually cut down on? I don't need to look at who's talking, do I? I listen to that. You know, I select my targets and I fire at them, and that's fine. I know that there's somebody else down there. Yeah, so you can see what I've done there is I knew there was a Lucio on the point, obviously. And I also knew that there was somebody else by the large health pack. So I popped my ulti to sort of push them away. I guess that's what I did. It wasn't a bad move. I mean, it kind of worked. And again, like, I'm just sort of sitting back in the position. I know Winston needs to die now. Didn't kill him fast enough because our Anna, well, she died to him, which is bad. I think I checked my ammo quite a bit as well. Doing a little bit of dancing. Oh, I mean, obviously, like, if there's a clear and present danger in front of me, I'm looking at that and trying to deal with that. Deal with the Lucio, that's cool. Having a look down there, seeing who's dead. The last person moving on to the point. So, pretty interesting to me. And probably quite good for you guys, because you can see when I'm looking at the score screen what I'm looking at. I checked my FPS then. I'm like, what? All right, I like this. This is good. I thought I'd include the selection at the start of the game just to show you what's happening. So I selected Roadhog. I then looked at the team, and you can see me looking at the Anna and the Genji, the Genji and the Zarya more specifically, and the Pharah, I suppose. Hello. And I'm like, this is a dive comp. I don't want to play Roadhog. I'm going to play Winston. So I picked Winston. So what we're going to do now is take a look at Winston as I get rumbled. Is that you, Sty? Yes, it is. And this time I managed to turn my microphone on because I'm not an idiot. When you need a bubble, I can help you. So, Winston, will there be... It is Stylosa. Will there be any major differences with Winston? Now, straight away, I expect Winston to be less focused on staring at the crosshair because there's, well, no aiming required. right, with Winston. But I need to look at where my next target is. I need to look where to go. So I've looked at the fact that we've got a kill, and I'm thinking, okay, I can be reckless. So I've just dived onto the point. Probably not the greatest Winston play, not the best Winston player. I'm okay. Drop my shield, and again, like I am tracking targets a little bit. Yeah, I'm tracking the Reinhardt, which I guess I kind of don't really need to be doing. Am I looking, like, this is the thing, am I looking around a little bit more? I would expect a tank player on a Winston and a Reinhardt, and we will take a look at Reinhardt in this video a little bit later on, to be more aware of what's going on. See, so if you're a player that is more strategic in a sense, and you look around more, and you've got better sort of peripheral vision, that kind of really doesn't make sense, because peripheral vision is what you see outside of the sort of the detailed pinpoint. Like, basically, wherever the green thing is, that's my pinpoint vision. Everything around that is peripheral, right? So, yeah, with tanks, I'd expect them to be looking around the screen a little bit more, because you kind of need to know the bigger picture. Obviously, DPS does as well, but, yeah. Also, it's kind of weird that I look at myself when I look at... What is annoying me about my play here is I look at the voice chat. I don't need to look at the voice chat. Maybe I'm looking at that just to see what hero's talking? I don't know. You know, it's pretty interesting. So I know we're a man down now, and I'm like, I don't know why I've dropped my shield. That's not particularly great play. You can see I'm checking my health a lot more often on the tanks. Obviously, because with Soldier, I can heal myself. So obviously, I still need to check it. But with the tanks, I'm more aware of, like, can I go in or can I not go in? Like, that there was a pretty dodgy decision. I've almost got my ult. That's kind of sad. You could see me looking at my ultimate there, and I'm like, yes, I can pop my ult, and then just died just before it went off. So that was not great. You can probably tell my frustration by the fact I was spamming tab there, bringing up the score screen. So yeah, looking around at the screen, looking at what the enemy's got, which is crucial. Like, so what I can say so far into this video is you guys can clearly see what I'm doing when I'm looking at the score screen. Right? You can see there, I just scanned the whole picture. I'm like, what is here? Can I jump in? And then I decided that I could maybe jump onto the high ground, try and take the Pharah out, which is always a funny thing to do with Winston. Don't manage to get it, but I know I've got my ulti here, so I can be quite aggressive and jump onto them. But yeah, what I think you guys can take from this is what I'm looking at on the score screen is I'm looking at what the enemy team composition is, obviously. Then I'm looking at what is going on with our team, what ultimates we've got available. And you guys can see me obviously talking to the team because I've managed to turn my microphone on this time. I'm not an idiot. So yeah, now this is kind of as the game starts. So I'm looking around at what we've got, and you'll notice that sometimes I stare at names. It's because I remember who they are. I'm like, oh, who is this guy? What does he do? So this is, again, the selection screen. And I'm going to lock in as McCree because I like to play McCree on the Spitfire account. I look at McCree's face. I don't know why I look at his face. I'm like, yo, McCree. So now I'm checking stats here. This is something you kind of really should do when you go into a game, because what you want is people playing heroes that they're comfortable with. And if you've got somebody on a Trace, for example, who, well, only plays Anna, then that's going to be a bit of a problem. Like, I look around and it looks like this team's okay. I'm thinking, should I change the Soldier? I look at McCree's face and I'm like, no, McCree says I should just stay with McCree. Yeah, it's really funny. Like, there's no hiding, is there? Like, you can see exactly what I'm looking at. It's awesome. Right then, let's take a look at McCree. So again, this is back onto hit scan DPS. A little bit different than Soldier because, well, I think McCree's a little bit more considered in his approach. You can't just be as, I guess, trigger happy. You have to make every shot kind of count, I think, with McCree. Like, wow, that was actually quite interesting there. You could see I was looking at the Winston as he dived in, and I was going to turn back for him, but then I realised there was Anna because I was sort of scanning around the screen. You know what? The more I watch this, there seems to be... It's not as clear as I thought it was going to be. I honestly thought DPS would be... Well, the hit scan DPS would be, especially on me on McCree and Soldier, would be me just staring in the centre of the screen almost all of the time and not really looking around at what's going on. But I actually seem to be looking around quite a bit, especially with this McCree, and I sort of did with Soldier. Yeah, I did with Winston. I don't think there was that much of a different... a difference there. It's going to be interesting to see the Reinhardt because that's a totally different play to Winston. Whereas Winston is pretty much up in your face. Reinhardt is, but when he's got his barrier deployed, I should be looking around at different things going on. You will notice, though, I'm constantly checking the kill feed. You guys have got to do that. It reminds me of StarCraft 2 and Day 9. And he was always like, if any of you guys have watched that, the Day 9 dailies back in the day, he was like, you've got to keep looking at the minimap to know what's going on. It's very similar in Overwatch. You have to look at the kill feed. Because if you know the enemy are down 2 men or you're both down 2-2, then you know you need to adapt your play to suit that. Like, do you be more aggressive? Do you be more conservative, more defensive? Obviously, if you kill 3 of the enemy team, then just dive onto them and try and kill them. And being aggressive wins a ton of games. So I'm sort of sitting in the back here with McCree, which is the way I kind of like to play McCree. Sort of survey what's going on and use McCree as the cleanup crew. And only take 1v1s if you know you can beat them, like if it's an enemy Genji or something, or a Tracer, then maybe if you're feeling lucky going for the 1v1. Yeah, so I'm quickly checking my stats. You'll notice that it is very clear when I'm playing DPS, I'm checking my eliminations and checking my accuracy. That's because to me, accuracy is such a major indicator. Like, you see, I should have hit her in the head there and I totally missed. It's such a major indicator to your effectiveness on a McCree because he is, like, so unforgiving. That's what I really like about McCree. I mean, he's in a fairly dodgy situation in the meta right now, I think, because he's McCree, but he's very unforgiving. You know, you can't hide on McCree. If you miss, then it's there for everybody to see and you're not getting the kills. And then you probably have to get forced onto Soldier or something like that. So, yeah, look, I check the kill feed a lot. I've got my ultimate available. This looks like one of those classic EU games where nobody talks on the microphone, which is fine. Sometimes it's all business on EU, ladies and gentlemen. Probably nobody could speak English in this game. I know it sounds silly, but that does happen quite a bit. Yeah, so I've popped high noon because I looked at the fact it was overtime. I realised it was the end of the map, so I'm like, whatever, let's high noon this and popped high noon. Interesting. This is really funky. I really like this. All right, so this is the same game again, but it's the final round, and this time I'm on Soldier, and it's on the same point. So we're going to get to compare what I do with Soldier compared to, well, the McCree that we just watched. Oh, actually, this is pretty funny. I remember this. He knocks me up in the air, and I kill the McCree. Thanks, Winston. But you can see, like, I am staring down the center of the screen quite a lot. Check my health when I took damage. Trying to select my targets here. Probably would have been better going on the May there, but the D.Va was low, so I decided to just try and take out the D.Va. You could see me check the perimeter there of Blizzard to see how far I had to run. I know May's low, I'm taking out the May. That's awesome. She's dead. It's beautiful. Winston's all over the point. We're going to try and take him out because he's low. D.Va's on us as well, and she's basically going to die. I'm getting shot in the back by a Reaper, that feels like, and I've snuck into the point. And Reaper with an awesome skin. But if you think McCree's not too meta-ish at the moment, well, Reaper may as well be deleted from the game. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, so now I'm looking around again, and you can see, like, I do look around quite a bit. I don't know why I check the... Like, I seem to look in random positions. One thing I definitely have learned from this gameplay so far is I look at who is talking way too much, and I need to not do that. Those little bits there where I'm looking around the screen are so interesting to me. And obviously, it shows you guys where I am looking on the score screen. And I do check that the percentage as well. Like, I know that we're in a very commanding position now, so I can kind of be quite aggressive. The enemy team have just dived in. I've got my ultimate. Yeah, I'm checking the percentage. I'm like, screw it. It's the end of the map. Let's just pop the ultimate. Which is something you should always do. You should always know when it's the end of the game. Because if it's the final fight, just use your ultimates. It doesn't matter. And then I'm looking at the chat to say GG. I think I leave up the... what I'm going to do now. I think I'm leaving on the end of the... Did I just look at Roadhog's belly? D.Va, I'm like looking at her foot because it's moving. It's like, what? Straight to the kill feed because I'm like, oh, it's a D.Va play the game. She must kill half the team. And she did. Because, of course, I've got like a mind or a memory like a sieve and it just all drops at me even though I was in the game. And yeah, that Winston player was pretty good. Yeah, and I'm sort of looking for him. Yeah, you can see where I look first before I vote. That's funky. Okay, now we're going to take a look at Reinhardt now. So I'm expecting this one to be a bit different, especially when the barrier is deployed. Because I think there is a very marked difference between a Reinhardt player and a DPS player. The fact that I kind of play... Like, if you had to say to me, Sto, where do you think you are in terms of Overwatch sort of skill rating? I'd say I can probably play almost every hero to this sort of Masters level, to this like high Master level. To go into GM, that's when I have to specialise. And I can... maybe do Reinhardt at that level. I know I can do Soldier. Reinhardt, though, I've never really solo queued as a Rein to that point, so I can't really comment on that completely. All right, let's take a look at what I'm doing. So, again, a lot of this is staring down the center of the screen, because like a lot of your vision, like human vision, is not. You don't look at everything that you're looking at, you know, with your pinpoint vision. A lot of it is peripheral, so you're taking in a lot of information based around where you're looking on the screen. So I'm not that surprised. A lot of my vision is centered down the middle of the screen. I just got a kill. Yeah, I just got a kill with a random fire strike, so I'm sort of looking at the kill like, who the hell have I killed? Alright, this is what I'm interested in with the barrier deployed. Yeah, look at this. I'm going to say, clearly with the barrier deployed, I'm looking around a lot more.
Can you hear me?
But could I look around in better places? Like, I'm just staring at the back of Reinhardt. There you go. I'm sort of looking around, looking at what's around the corner. Fire strike the corner, random fire strikes for the win. Should have waited with that fire strike, really, because I could have hit the Reinhardt when he came around. As I charge, I seem to select my target. Oh, this was me shouting, let's go aggressive, I think, in the voice chat. Yeah. But again, I know this because I'm looking at the kill feed. I know we've got a kill, and it's like, let's dive onto the enemy. Let's go aggressive. Looking at the time left there.
Just saying that.
Yeah, I don't know. This is really interesting to me, this is. I tell you what, guys. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. This has been a pretty unique video. I do have this eye tracker hardware now, so I can do more things with this. Let me know if you think the colour is okay. Like, any of you guys finding it hard to see that lime green colour, because I can change the colour of this to like maybe a... I didn't want red because the enemy's red, and I think that would like screw it up a little bit. I could maybe go white for future videos. That might stand out. I'm not sure. Even black might work. I don't know. But yeah, if you've got any other crazy ideas with what I could do with this, especially stuff that you think would actually benefit you guys in terms of tutorials or stuff like that, because I'm not just going to put this over gameplay that I upload, because it's quite distracting seeing it on the screen. But it is quite clear where I'm looking around the screen, and to me this is very interesting. It's almost like I want all of you guys to track your eyes. I know it's impossible to do that unless you go out and splash out on all this crazy hardware, which is like, I don't expect you guys to do that. But I hope this is sort of giving you guys some tips and some insight into where I look a lot of the time. Now, the biggest thing I think to take from this is I look at the kill feed a lot. And I also look at the score screen and I look at who's got ultimates available. And then you can set up the combos with other people. If there's been a little bit of lag as well in this Reinhardt clip, I apologise for that. I'm not sure what caused that. This is quite a ridiculous setup to record like this. But I think the other clips were okay. Yeah, alright guys, I've been Stylosa, this is Unit Lost. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Hopefully this has been a very interesting video for all you guys. And yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming. And I will catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.